Hello everyone, I'm CZ Lumen and this is StarCraft 2. What I have for you here is another match between herO and NightMare within the same tournament. Don't know who wins this one. Could be NightMare, could be herO. We shall find out. We are currently playing on Royal Blood. This is the game after the previous one that I just casted. In that one, it was pretty much neck and neck, right up until the very end when herO decided to tap out. So we'll see if any strange shakeups in tactics and strategies by either player is implemented, or if both of them are going to continue to play a very standard kind of Protoss where it's a double gateway with a cybernetics core and then just brawl it out in the middle of the map with stalkers, immortals, and adepts. Only herO did some drops last game in order to try to shake up the enemy pro production and economy with some success, but overall, workers stayed about the same between two. There wasn't a huge deciding factor during the game until the very end in one of the fights. And it was a very one-sided victory for NightMare. And before NightMare could even challenge herO at his base, herO tapped out. So we're going to see. Is this? Okay, no. What do we have? So herO is investigating what he can in NightMare's base here. Both players are playing as Protoss, by the way, if you're just listening and not actively watching. I'm going to skip forward just a little bit to get past the scouting phase. Okay, here it is, Cybernetics Core. Both players have their Cybernetics Core put down. Warp Gate technology being researched. Stalkers are coming out with a shield battery defending the main base for NightMare. It's very interesting. A little bit different for NightMare had set down another pylon. Previous game, NightMare did this too. Basically, put down a pylon in the Protoss base against herO just to delay that gate or the Nexus as long as possible. And every second can matter. Depending on, okay, it's 3 versus 4 stalkers. Had to pause there for a second. Every second can matter. It can add up. NightMare setting up a proxy pylon, which will be interesting depending on how long this game goes. The herO deciding to build an Oracle this match to see if he can get any work done, although shying away from the main base with 2 stalkers currently on guard duty. Not looking like a whole lot of options are available for herO to take advantage of that Oracle. 2 Oracles come out and 2 Adepts. Keeping an eye on his opponent here with nothing. Yeah, pretty much a standard game for both of them. Worker count, army count 16 to 16. Worker count is 27 in herO's favor to 25 against NightMare. Not a lot of difference, not a lot of fighting or combat taking place. Oh, here we go. Did 2 probes just go down? Oh, I have to catch this. Hold on. I totally spaced on this. I wasn't paying attention for a half a second. Oh, 5 probes have already been down. Okay, never mind. I thought I missed. Okay, there's a few more probes that go down against herO. Oof, painful. Not what you want. Few probes for an Oracle. I mean, NightMare is behind now. 29 workers versus herO's 36. So herO does have a strong economy in comparison. I think last game, herO was lagging behind slightly in the economy side. So this game, it looks like he decided to really hunker down on the pro production and try to stay in the lead as long as possible. I wouldn't be surprised if... Okay, Pylon and Nexus? Looks like Nexus is going to go for a 3rd expand before herO, so NightMare definitely has the timing down. I'm holding my breath here. I was literally holding my breath wondering what's going to happen here, if anything interesting. But we have stalkers moving out from the hero side. Hero, playing the aggressor, has a proxy pylon in order to warp in allies to support this upcoming attack. I'm going to slow the game down just a little bit. We have stalkers versus stalkers just outside the third potential expansion for NightMare. NightMare taking a beating, losing forces. Now NightMare having support with sentries with that defensive bubble and getting outnumbered here and shoot away. This is not looking good for herO. herO came in and looking like he had the upper hand, the advantage, and now this is not looking good for herO. 27 to 23. Fighting has balanced out just a little bit. It is a numbers game right now. And if herO can keep NightMare off balance as long as possible, prevent him from building any kind of expansions, he's going to be limited on 2 bases. herO building up that third base and just inch forward with that economic lead. And if he can manage that, that's probably going to help him out this game. Like I said, last game, he was really struggling on the economy side against NightMare. It looked like he was just always falling behind just a little bit. NightMare even taking probe losses, but still was able to just maintain that lead. NightMare is ahead in the units lost category in terms of resources, so herO is doing a better job here at this game, taking control of the map, deciding when the fights go on once again. NightMare deciding to get a third nexus and along the south side of the map instead of the natural third. Besides that, herO is massing a small army in the center of the map, looking for something to do. It looks like as his next nexus builds up. Zealot upgrades in the works. Speaking of works, workers are coming up, 49 to 44. herO still taking the lead there. So herO finding the third nexus being built, starting the harassment, going up against an immortal surrounded by stalkers. So we'll see how that plays out. No fancy strategies, no real crazy tactics. This is basically just almost like a boxing match between these two individuals, and slugging it out one punch after another to see who can take it. And this is just neck and neck. Oh, I say it's neck and neck until I look down, and in a matter of seconds, herO has a 59 worker supply versus and a Ford. Oh, he's building a quiet gold base. This should be good. 59 workers versus 46. herO is in the lead still. 4 more probes against NightMare. Goes down. Really keeping that economic lead, which is just absolutely critical in games like this. If herO gets this base up, supported by a shield battery here, this is going to help out. Now these mineral patches, they're only 900 each. Wait, there is an 1800. Are they? Okay, we have 2 1800s. But the thing is that the probes bring in a little bit more minerals than normal in comparison. I think it's 50% more, so that's gonna really give them an economic boost this game around. Even herO building 5 bases, including a gold base. If he can secure this, if he can keep NightMare on his toes or in the back corner, he's going to take the economic lead, and he's really going to skyrocket here. He's ahead in worker count by itself. Army supply, he's lagging behind just a little bit, 77 to 91. NightMare looking like he's building up his forces to attack on this. With this, we have constant small attacks by an Oracle in the back of NightMare's base. So it's definitely keeping NightMare distracted and busy, trying to defend his economy with just a few resources. And like I said before, if you can get your opponent to spend attention and resources where you don't want them to put attention and resources, you're winning. That helps. He hasn't gotten NightMare to build cannons to just blanket defend the back of his base. We're about to see this match go down. This might be the deciding factor. I don't know how long this fight's going to be. But go ahead and take a quick look at the army value. We have for herO, 4,900 versus 5,600 in minerals, 1,800 versus 2,400 in gas. herO has a slight disadvantage of 95 army supply versus 103. I don't know if 103 army supply isn't all here. Both sides do not have all of their forces concentrated in this one spot, but we just have just a slugfest that's about to go on here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so we can actually see. I'm going to try to keep this side by side as possible, or just almost pause and unpause. I want you to take a guess at who wins, who loses, how this fight goes on. herO on the ropes and running away from this fight, recognizing that he probably is getting outclassed here with only one immortal. NightMare has, it looks like, what, 2? Is there 3? Is there a third immortal in this? Only 2 immortals. There's just a clump of units right here. Bad positioning for herO. Zealots in the back of the fight. Archon has warped in for herO and more reinforcements coming in. Also defended by a shield battery. This third natural is going to be defended here by herO against NightMare. NightMare testing the waters, coming in and out. All ranged units, adepts and stalkers and immortals, basically poking and retreating, poking and retreating. Really, and committing, blinking forward, taking out as many probes as possible, as well as many stalkers as he can. 93 to 115 army supply. NightMare getting supported by a warp prism, with adepts fighting the other side. I think this is. I think you want to have as many units in here as possible. This is a full-out war between the two players. Whoever wins this fight might decide who wins the game, and it looks like herO is taking this home. Archon in the front, stalkers in a good formation, shooting down and against NightMare stalkers. This is a really bad loss for NightMare. We have. But even then, with this fight, the army supply is near even, 44 to 41 by the end of this. I love it. This is wild to me. It's wild how you can have a fight like this. It really looked like herO took that home, and in the end, their army supply is nearly identical. Now herO is catching up on the stragglers and trying to whittle that down, rebuilding his army 56 to 32, 60 to 32 now. NightMare trying to recover as much as possible, continuing the fight. herO pushes his advantage, or what advantage he might have, with a little bit of reinforcements and a warp prism, calling in more reinforcements against this, pushing away NightMare stalkers. NightMare trying to hold on to whatever army he can as much as possible, getting supported by a shield battery against this base. He's letting his one base to go down to try to save what army he has, and he calls GG. That is tapping out, ladies and gentlemen. Oof. What a fight. Let's analyze this just a little bit more. I'm going to get as close as we can to the point of GG. This has got to be stressful for NightMare, just like falling back here as much as he can. Losses, and they don't know this, but NightMare's losses, minerals plus gas, against herO is quite a bit more. That's 30% more. Although when we look at the tech, interesting enough, how do I go back to tech? No, give me tech. Tech spending. I want tech spending. Here's the numbers. Speechless for just a second here. herO has invested near 4,000 into his technology, with NightMare only investing 2,000. I'm rounding, by the way. I'm going to round if you're just listening as much as possible to make the numbers easy to listen to. Army spending wise, basically 3,500 or 13,500, 13,500 for both sides. Like just a slight difference. Economy wise, herO spent just a little bit more on his economy than NightMare. Although herO, I don't know if this is scouted or not, but he has a fully saturated gold patch that's mining behind this. So he has the advantage. Last game, he did not have the economic advantage for long. He might have had like a 10% or 5 or 10% worker advantage for a little bit here and there, but NightMare kept catching up and making sure that that didn't last long enough to really matter. And with herO in this game, securing more bases, continuing his harassment, just like last game, tactics wise, he's playing the same game. It's just that in this one, he expanded more. And that's the difference that we have between that last game and this game. herO really stepped it up on this one. Feels like a whole different game for herO, like two different people, actually. Absolutely incredible. Just to analyze this. NightMare on the other hand, no cannons, no backup defenses, which is fine. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. He has all of his forces concentrated against the army. I want to go back to that one fight. Where's it at? It's right here. Now this fight here, this basically determined how the rest of the game went down. Nah, herO had it in the bag. 69 workers, nice, versus 52, and he has a gold patch in his favor. He's bringing in at this point 3,600 minerals versus NightMare's 2,200. Just think about that for a second. That's a substantial difference. That's herO's economy is 150% NightMare's. A little bit more. So he has all of the advantage in comparison in this fight. So we're gonna look at this fight here and really break this down. If there's anything that could have been different, I know there's an advantage being of having a higher ground advantage. I don't know if the stairs. I need to look this up. I don't know if the stairs tactically make a difference. I know in StarCraft 1, I think it was a percentage. I think it was a 30% miss percentage shooting up, and now I think it's just like a flat 1 to damage or something like that. They wanted to get rid of any kind of RNG in the game. So, and it makes out for more like reliable gameplay. Oh, I need to slow this down. So NightMare has his back up against a tactically inferior position, with herO having not just the shield battery, but the defender's advantage of being able to call in reinforcements quickly. Okay, both sides have observers watching. We have a lone nexus on the right here that is pretty inconsequential. There's only a few probes. We have 4 probes here. We have an oversaturated base here. The question is, for NightMare, do you just try to break down the economy and sacrifice this army, or do you try to knock out this army as much as possible and keep herO at his base? So you want to make these guys last as long as possible. But when you look at the minerals, NightMare's perspective, he does not have the economy to replace this. The economy, or the units that he has here on the field currently cost 6,000 resources, or 6,000 minerals. He has 200 in the bank. And as far as he's concerned, he probably thinks herO is in the same boat. With the extra base here going on, he thinks it's a 3-3, getting ready to be a 4-4 or a 4-3, but really he's behind not 1 but 2 bases, and not knowing about this gold base really hurt him. So in this little fight here, this is not what you want. This immediately not only you're running away and going to be taking free hits from the stalkers, but you're about to be at a disadvantage here. You have to either fight up here or straight up run away. The sentries here, I really need to look up what that shield does. I know it gives you like a +2 defense or something like that, which helps. Every little bit helps, especially in this situation. But NightMare's army is moving back and forth a whole lot without actually getting a whole lot done. Now here, great move. Stalkers move in to try and knock out as many stalkers as possible against an overcharged shield battery. And this is rough. And this isn't even all of hero's forces at play. We have zealots in the back here chilling. NightMare, this is a hard fight for NightMare to take over. So this is what NightMare sees. Calling in reinforcements. He's taking out what he can. This is such a hard... Man, and those zealots come in right there. Oh, this is a rough fight. This is a rough fight. Imagine fighting this. And this is on normal speed, not even sped up. So he goes back, trying to pay attention, watching his forces fall. Look at this line. How intimidating that is. And that is the Shroud of War right there. That's as far as NightMare can see. And soon he's not going to be able to see his opponent, because the moment these forces stop giving vision, and his observer's behind him. If he had the observer over here, it would help make sure that there's no Shroud of War working against him. But he's about to have that. Here we go. Just a little bit more. This is just a really ugly position to be in for NightMare. This is hard to fight against. Calls in reinforcements. Yeah, building up your reinforcing army as fast as possible is probably something you should be doing. And maybe even sacrifice this army, because fighting this is what he sees. In slow motion, by the way. It's multitasking. So now he has his forces. He's building up as much as possible. So this looks pretty grim, right? This looks like you're just fighting uphill. Now he has resources in the bank that he can be spending, but this is all of his attention. He's trying to get as much as he can done. Just like deal with these zealots here. Watching his base fall. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh. It crashed. Well, GG everybody. Please like and subscribe and tell me what you thought about the game. And if you liked the additional strategy or my zoom in on trying to analyze the tactics that went on in critical moments and what you'd like to see. Have a good day.